Thanks to the support as a channel member, Jack Sorbers. Oh, boys and girls, the things I do for you. It is so hot in my office this week. It is a miracle I've recorded any videos at all. I have got sweat dripping out of every orifice. And somehow we've still not hit 100,000 subscribers on the channel. I feel like there's not enough give and take in this relationship. Hello and welcome to part 65 of Born in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two more games for you. In the league, we're at home against our old rivals, the High Desert Elite, and we're away against Manhattan. Since you were last with me, we've continued to play pretty well with the odd weird anomaly result mixed in there as well. It's typical teams that we always lose to as well. Arizona and IMG Bradenton Academy, the two most recent ones. We did smash our old rivals, Baltimore Christos, though. I think they're done. They're no longer on the same road to glory as we are, being outshone by the other Baltimore team this season and not looking like they're going to make the playoffs even, whereas we are still top of the league. 25 games played, 53 points on the border. Atlanta are only 1 point behind us. Long Island only 3 points behind them, so it's still very tight at the top. But importantly, we are still at the top. It is ours to lose from this point. High Desert Elite, who we play today, are also in a similar fall to Baltimore Christos. They're down in a relegation battle, so hopefully we can pick up a result against them and continue on our run. This is the team that we're going to be sending out there for this game. We've got Bradbury in goal, a back four of Llewellyn, Ankiel, Brook and Hansen, Ryan and Gomez in midfield, Fordyce and Huyan out wide, Stone and Hernandez up front. It's a very, very familiar team. The only new boy we've got is Tanner Dogan, which that feels like the most American name we've ever seen. A 3.5-star current ability central midfielder. He is 30 years old, so he's not one for the long term, but he's a handy player to help us get over the finish line this season. He's rarely in his career played as low down in the pyramid as we are right now, he says, although Hartford may be even below the pyramid itself. Somehow they're not in, and he's been there the last 2 years, and Central Premier League's quite low as well. But he has, as recently as 3 or 4 years ago, been playing in League Two. So he's a former Football League player, and he's still only 30. That seems like a good signing to me, although he does seem like his career is in a similar free fall to the Baltimore Christos. We're giving him his squad number now. He's only just signed for us. So let's jump into this game, hopefully pick up another victory and continue our charge towards the promised land of Tier 5. I can't remember what it's called. Is it the National Premier? It's something like that. It's the one below League 2. We are getting closer and closer to professional status. I'm not actually sure in this database when professional status happens. I assume it's like in England, and it's when you reach League 2, which is Tier 4. I think we become professional. So for now, we've just got to keep on plugging away with our bunch of handsome semi-pros, of which Stephen Stone is one. And Stephen Stone has just scored another goal. He's been with us, 7, 8 years at this point? It's ridiculous, the length of service from some of these players. It's going to be a real shame when they have to move on. You always get this in these long-running road to glory style saves. You reach those sort of pinch points in the save where you have to completely rebuild the team, and then you get a new bunch of heroes who are together for a long time. But we have to make sure we never forget Stone, Huyan, Hernandez, these boys who've been with, and Jeff Brook as well goes in that number. These boys who've been with us through most of our climb up through these deepest, darkest reaches of the lower league structure. They're very unlikely to be anywhere near the club by the time we hit League 2 even. But for now, we're very much enjoying them, and they're all making sure they write themselves into the history books. Hernandez there with his 28th goal of the season. By the time he leaves, he'll have set a goal record that's never going to be equaled, and Huyan is going to try his very best to be up there with an assist record as well, with crosses like that. I imagine the one man he's competing with for that assist record is Hernandez himself. As far as appearances go, I'm not sure. Stone maybe, Brook maybe. It could even be Hernandez or Huyan. There's going to be a few of them in the mix. I know for a while it was Briones, and Sam Williams took over, but I think Stephen Stone arrived that next season, and of course Brook was already here, so We'll check in with that at the end of the season. I didn't plan on today's episode to start talking about all-time club records, but sometimes you get nostalgic even when you're still in the past, like we are. I'm getting nostalgic for now. That's because I know what's coming. I know I'm going to feel nostalgia in the future. Let's make the most of it now. What's it called when you're feeling nostalgia in the present? There must be a word for that. If not, I've not only invented a feeling, we now need to invent the word for it. I warned you it was hot in this office. This is why I've not been streaming much either, because it's just going to be the words that come into my head, and my head is pickled by the heat. I apologise. 2-0 to us on the 30-minute mark, leaves us with a 3-point gap at the top of the table. So it looks like Atlanta are not yet winning. Atlanta are away against Boston. Boston down in 13th place. So if our local rivals Boston can hold Atlanta to a draw here, it'll be a big step towards winning the title for us. And Jeff Brook, just on the stroke of half-time, scoring the goal that we've seen him score so very many times before. The Hernandez corner, the Brook header. I think that's 5 for the season for him. It's 3-0 at half-time. Remember when High Desert Elite were better than us? That's a long time ago now. We're too good for this league. We should have gone up last year. It's similar to our last promotion. We overstay our welcome in these leagues, and we've just got to get that killer instinct to get us up when we should be going up, because I think this team was good enough to go up last year. We got very, very close. That's some terrible goalkeeping from Bradbury. I'm here mocking High Desert Elite. Meanwhile, our goalkeeper's mocking us and letting them back into things. I can't let them back into the game now that I've mocked them. That's terrible goalkeeping. Not only is it pretty much straight at him and he missed it, but his hands went the wrong way. He's gone right and the ball's gone slightly to the left of him. That was a beautiful set piece. It's a shame it's been disallowed. That looked straight off the training ground. So it shows that we need to sack the assistant manager if we do a training ground set piece and it's still offside. But Ankiel nodding the ball across goal. Hernandez tucks it away. Marginally offside. Ankiel's there from the corner, and that's another goal for him. 4th for the season, 4-1 for us. With these corners are a real threat again today, and it all adds to Hernandez's assists tally. I imagine it's not even close between him and Huyan. The fact that he takes the corners and we've got Jeff Brook and Ankiel in the team means that he's always going to have a lot of assists every season. That's terrible from Bradbury again. It's only an episode or two ago that we were talking about Bradbury as the answer after years of really struggling to find ourselves a goalkeeper that we can rely on long term. We thought we had our man with Bradbury. We even gave him a 2-year contract. He was on a non-contract at the start of the season when he came into the team. He performed so well, we gave him a 2-year deal. And he's having a terrible game today. Absolutely rotten. That's a very good save. And to be fair, he needed to make it, because at 4-3, this becomes problematic. Ankiel taking a big risk with that tackle in the penalty area as well. High Desert Elite have only had 4 shots and scored 2 of them. To be fair, we've only had 8 and scored 4 of them. So we've got the same shots on target to goals ratio. Fordyce with I think that was supposed to be a shot. It turned into a cross. He'll no doubt claim it's a cross. And Huyan is there to tap in his 10th goal of the season. He definitely shapes up to be hitting this as a shot. But I don't know if he's mishit it or if it's caught the wind or what's happened there. It's become a perfect cross that the goalkeeper's not coming for, because he thinks the goalkeeper stood there preparing for a shot. The defenders are preparing for a shot. I mean, it's skill. He did it deliberately. Set up for a shot, do a cross. And now we've conceded a third. This is ridiculous. 5-3 now. If we had a goalkeeper or a defence, we'd be laughing. I can't criticise the defence too much because 2 of them have scored today. And in fact, we've got very good ratings for today's game as well. But the goalkeeper, my goodness. We're back in our system of not really making substitutions as well, because our bench isn't great. So unless someone gets tired, we're not really making changes because our squad's so small. Oh my word, it nearly became 5-4 with 7 minutes to go. I think you probably back High Desert Elite just based on having played Football Manager before. Atlanta look like they're now ahead in their game. They are 2-0 up for Atlanta, although Long Island look like they may have lost. So although the gap between us and Atlanta is still just the 1 point, I think there's now a big gap behind them, which I don't care if we go up in first or second. It's not about winning the league, but we're so rubbish at playoffs in this save that we do need to go up automatically. So the league table now looks thusly. So Long Island Long Island losing 3-0 at home to Chattanooga. Chattanooga, who are just outside the relegation zone. There's some very strange results in this league every week. But we're top, 56 points. Atlanta 1 point behind us, and then 6 points behind them before you get to the chasing pack led by Long Island. That is a handsome-looking league table when it's still only January. I'm not sure whether I'm blaming the heat or the fact that we're on the holiday schedule this week and it's been a couple of days since I've played in the save. I forgot to tell you some quite important news. Goran Pavlov sold the club. And I forgot to mention it. We have a new chairman, Callum Coleman, Callum with a K. And yeah, Goran's gone. We are still sharing the same board as Bourne. Oh, actually, maybe we're not. That's been removed. So we no longer share the same board as Bourne. We can't cancel it, so it's still a permanent deal. But we're now under new owners and they're not. That is interesting. That is very interesting. Yeah, we have a new board in place. They haven't done anything financially. In fact, we're worse off financially than we were before. So it's not really made any difference other than the fact Goran Pavlov can finally go off and enjoy his retirement after his failed venture into being a football owner. We have also brought a couple of players in as well. We're still trying to bring in a few more. A couple of players have come in as we are in the transfer window. Peter Powell's a 23-year-old American right back, 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. Obviously from Boston, because all our players are from Boston at some point. We've actually signed him directly from Boston, which shows the strides we're making now. We can actually tempt players away from nearby clubs, which we've never been able to do before. So that's an interesting development. And we've got another goalkeeper purely as a knee-jerk reaction to what we saw in that last game. Callum Irving is a 35-year-old Canadian, former under-20 international, who spent many years playing in Canada. Love it when I say that. Yeah, was previously in the USA a long time ago. He's had a very weird career. So he had 5 years off there between Vancouver residency and the Rio Grande Valley. And then he basically went back to Canada, and now at 35, he's back in the USA. Oh, interrupted by a telephone call. I'm not sure if I introduced the team. This is the team. Irving and Powell are in. Everyone else you're used to. I think I introduced Irving and Powell to you. I've been away from this computer for an hour and a half since the last little clip. I guess a really professional YouTuber would have gone back and watched the previous clip, but that's a little on the complicated side for me. What is going on this pitch? Is that frozen? Is that what that is? Frozen or snow? Remember when we used to have the weather written on the screen so we'd know? I'm assuming that's frozen snow. Who are we playing? Manhattan. Do they get snow in Manhattan? I think they do, don't they? My entire knowledge of New York comes from Casey Neistat's vlogs and the Turtles. I don't remember snow in the Turtles, but I do remember snow in his vlogs occasionally. So I assume that is snow on the ground. What month are we in? January, because we've just signed players. This all adds up. This is snow, although it looks like it's raining. Right, can we have a goal, please? I'm going to find it very difficult to commentate on this because with the snowy pitch and the two dark kits, it all kind of looks the same. So I don't really have any idea what's going on. At least we've got a yellow ball, which looks like it's a little bit disconnected from the rest of the match engine. It's a little bit weird. It looks like it's floating on top of the grass rather than being on, like when you have the white ball on the green grass, it actually looks like a football. But this looks like a weird yellow circle just hovering a couple of inches above the grass. And I think the players are seeing it too. And because of that, we're 1-0 down against a team we really shouldn't be 1-0 down against. Long Island are ahead against Baltimore as well. That's just come through as a significant goal. We could no sooner have we built a little bit of a gap at the top of the league. That gap could be getting chipped away here. Manhattan are down just outside the playoffs, or just inside the playoffs now, in fact. So, I mean, I guess they're not a terrible side. Away from home, we'd probably be okay with a draw here, but the form we've been in, we don't really draw games this season. We either win them or lose them. If we're playing well, we win. If we don't, we lose. There's not really any middle ground. And Hu Yan is trying to get us back towards winning ways. We're in the middle ground after I promised there was none. Manhattan won, Bourne won, and Hu Yan is on fire at the moment. That's good play from Gomez in midfield as well. We'll miss him next year if we're not able to extend his loan. But I am hopeful. Part of me does hope that if, assuming we do get promoted, which I think we should at this point, if we don't get promoted from here, we're silly gooses. But I am hoping that's when we turn professional. Like I say, I haven't looked in the database. I know the Bourne database has been out long enough now that a lot of you will now be ahead of me, both in terms of progress and years. You could probably let me know at what point you turn professional down in the comments section, but I think it's probably when you hit League 2. And they've had an immediate reply here. And this new goalkeeper, this old man in goal, doesn't look any better than the guy we had in there before. It might be time to bin him off and go back to Bradbury, who really only had one poor game. And because it happened to be in January, I immediately replaced him. What's going on in the Atlanta game? Atlanta, I think, are drawing. But a draw is enough to put them to the top of the league, hopefully only temporarily, while we reassert ourselves as we hit the second half. Powell, with his first contribution, is a lumped clearance. He'll fit in well around here. And Solis over the top to Hernandez, who's got Stone lurking in the middle if he can find the cross. Gives it to Fordyce. Gomez back to Hernandez again. He is looking for Stone this time. His header is straight at the goalkeeper. He had Huyan behind him and maybe should have been looking for the flick on to put it into the path of a red-hot Huyan, who you'd just back to score from anywhere at the moment. Irving now. There you go. He can handle that one. How's his distribution? Not too shabby. Finds Stone. Stone with the flick on. Can't really direct it into the path of Huyan, where I think is where he's aiming for. And now we get a proper test of Powell on this right-hand side. That is a very useful cross. We've had some weird crosses today, and that was definitely one of them. And luckily, we dealt with it adequately. Irving with the kick again. I tell you what, his distribution's pretty good. Hernandez is in behind again here. If he can find the cross, he cuts it back to Ryan, who's got loads of space. Finds Gomez. Gomez shoots from range, and it's just wide from Gomez. That would have been an excellent time to grab an equaliser just before half-time. It was not to be, and we now go straight into the second half, and it's Manhattan who start things off. Irving with the punch. Not happy with that. I hate punching goalkeepers. Just catch it. There's no reason not to catch it there, but Fordyce has actually got a little bit of a break on here, and I might have been won over to the realm of punching there, because it certainly got the counter-attack underway quicker. But as we didn't capitalise on it, it's all the goalkeeper's fault. We needed a new scapegoat, so we signed one. We can play him for a few games, fall out with him, bin him off, go back to Bradbury. Everyone's happy. He's got an uphill battle to be our long-term goalkeeper based on this as a debut, because, yes, he's conceded 3 goals like Bradbury did in the last game, but we scored 5. And I have to credit Bradbury for that. I don't want to see your filthy replays. This is not going at all to plan. This seems to be how the episodes go at the moment. We win one, we lose one. And then in between, we win like 2/3 and lose the other third. We're a very strange team. And it's weird. It's weird form. We've lost a lot of games for a team to be top of the league. But because we're not really drawing any, it means we're winning more than our fair share as well, which is what's keeping us in the hunt. Hernandez should know by now not to attempt a shot with his standing leg. He does anyway, and it goes very high and very wide. Fordyce with the in-swinging free kick, looking for that far post, but the Manhattan goalkeeper is there to collect very, very comfortably. We need to sort ourselves out here. We've got to get ourselves back into this game. Powell taking his time, picking out Huyan, who turns, looks up for options. He's decided to go for the running option. He's trying to go past his man. It's a lovely run and cross from Huyan, looking for the head of Hernandez. If it had been Stone that he finds there, I think it's probably 3-2. But Hernandez has never been that proficient in the air. And now we've got a corner. Hernandez with the in-swinger for this near post, where we know how dangerous both Brook and Ankiel can be, but not today. Atlanta are ahead in their game, so it's now a 2-point gap from them down to us, and then 4 points down to Long Island, who... Long Island drawings? I think that was it might have been a 6-point gap before. It was 6 points from Atlanta, wasn't it? So that's why it's 4 from us. That makes sense, because we were one ahead of Atlanta. Kev maths, everybody. Solis with the cross. We've still got time to get back into this if we score now. And we're not going to score now with crosses like that. I know I'm not really making a lot of substitutions at the moment, but now feels like a time to make one, potentially. What have we got? Nothing that really inspires me on that bench. I guess we can take off Stone and bring on Romney, take off Ryan, bring on Anderson, and take off Powell and bring on Hansen. There you go. We'll do a Kevy treble with 15 minutes to go and see if those changes are enough to turn the game on its head. The changes haven't gone through yet, though, and Gomez has got space in the middle here and options ahead of him. Gomez is continuing his run, plays it back to Solis, to Gomez again, and now Ryan, probably one of his final contributions to the game. Gomez shoots from range, and there were probably much better options than having the shot from there. It goes very high, very wide, and kind of sums up our afternoon. We've not played terribly, but we've had 17 shots, and only 3 of them have been on target. We've been very, very wasteful today. Hernandez with the corner. Brook does get there, but I think the goalkeeper gets there at the same time, and it ends up back with Hernandez. Now Anderson from range, and I'm fed up of saying from range and then pulling that face. It has been the story of this match. Far too much shooting from range and just really, really wasteful. Not a good game. We're thrashing the arms, and hopefully we come back fighting for our next match, because if I come back for the next episode and we're not in the automatic promotion spots after the speech I gave in the first match today, I am going to be horrified. And remember as well, we are still on the holiday schedule through the weekend, so expect videos at 4 p.m. on both Saturday and Sunday. The next Bourne video will be 4 p.m. Sunday, and then we're back to normal schedule from next week, so back into the 4 o'clock everyday slot next week. We're going to come back on Sunday, probably for the halfway point between now and the end of the season, and then Monday we'll finish the season off, hopefully, as champions. It doesn't look like mind you, we play Atlanta there. Do we play Long Island? We might have to shuffle this around a little bit to show you the big games. We'll figure something out. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.